All right. Any more? Any more? Any more signups? What do we have? Tiana. No, wasn't funny. Okay, it looks like it only works when the microphone's on. Is that how it's supposed to work, Tiana? Let me try a different channel. Test. That's still hot. Hot. Test. At the 5. Test. All right, of course. Put on some Netflix. No, go around. All right, that should work. How's it sound? Good? Beautiful. All right, how does it sound? These sound effects or something else. Where's the volume button at? Is this it? Oh, it sounds good on there. Cool. Whoa. Okay. Welcome everybody to Hacker Dojo Lightning Talks, June 30th, 2023. I will be your host, Blockchain John, for this evening. Let's go over a couple things here. Hacker Dojo. Welcome to Hacker Dojo. If you're a visitor for the first time, there's a sign-up board in the front. Go ahead and get yourself a little name tag there. It'd be really nice so we can know who you are. Hi, Eric. Hacker Dojo is a 501c3, a community of engineer, artists, scientists, activists, entrepreneurs, and other creative people centered around a co-working and social facility. Membership. We are a non-profit. Yes, non-profit. All this stuff is non-profit. This is all free for everybody, for the public to come enjoy. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome to come and join us. It's free. Okay. Some of you guys are kind of little worried that we're going to charge you a fee for coming in and visiting. No. Just come on in. If you want to use a laser cutter, use a laser cutter. If you want to do 3D printing, come on down. Use 3D printing. It's free. Right, Tiana? Hey, if you guys want some more information on how to sign up to be a member of Hacker Dojo, go to hackerdojo.org. All right, real quick, icebreaker question. Here we go. Is it your first time here? Raise your hand. Welcome. We do have some first-timers. All right, make sure we get some blood samples, all right? All right. All right. How about 1 week? You been here more than 1 week? Anyone? No? Okay. Oh, there we go. Eric. All right. 1 month. Yes. Good. All right. 1 year? All right. Jorge, thank you. 10 years. What? 10 years. 10 years. Question. Were you here at the beginning on Hacker Dojo 1.0? Okay. That's a story. If you guys don't know for the first time, you guys visiting for the first time, this is actually this is Hacker Dojo 4.0. There's been 3 other iterations of Hacker Dojo prior to this in different locations. These are the OGs. Talk to them. They'll let you know the whole history of Hacker Dojo. They've been through it all. All right. Oh, this is a new slide here. I'm just curious. What's your nickname? My nickname, I used to say, hey, everybody, my name is John. Nobody knows me by John. I say, my name is Blockchain John. I go, oh, yes, I know you, Blockchain John. We do have some members here. Turbo, where's Turbo? He's in the back, right there. That's Turbo. Got Balaji. Hello, Balaji. We got Chepe. He's not in the house right now. We got Splash as well. And Fluffy is Fluffy. How about you guys' nicknames? You guys have nicknames? No? No nicknames. I was just curious. What's your nickname? Johnsy? Johnsy. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Okay, are you a hacker? Raise your hand. Got a couple hackers? And do you remember the hackers like to hang out over here for some reason? Every single week, the hackers, when we have big events, they all hang out right over here. I don't understand it. Like, they vibe right over here. All right, a developer. Are you a developer? Oh, nice. Okay. YouTube. There's a lot of developers here. If you're looking for a developer, come to Hacker Dojo. All right. Entrepreneurs. Again, YouTube. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here. Come on by. Hobbyist. Be like, huh? Yes. Make sure you bring your wallet. All right. Bring your wallet. All right. How about hobbyists? Do we have hobbyists in the house? I consider myself a hobbyist. I tinker with stuff. Okay. Cool. Unicorns? Any unicorns? Not this week. YouTube. You need to come over. All right. We need some unicorns. Volunteers. Again, like I mentioned, Hacker Dojo is a nonprofit, so we do need a lot of volunteers. I myself am a volunteer. I'm up here. You guys are welcome to come and host Lightning Talks as well. So if you guys would like to volunteer your time, talk to Tiana in the back. Tiana? There she is. Donations and suggestions. There's a Venmo QR code if you guys want to scan that. YouTube, I'm watching you. Thank you. There's a tip jar in the back. We do have barbecue. Do we have barbecue today, Tiana? Hot dogs on the grill. All right. So, and nachos. Cool. All right. That's going to be pretty good. There you go. Dojo links. There's a meetup link. There's a website link, YouTube link, Twitch, Slack, Discord, and Twitter. Personally, I like Discord. There's a lot of stuff on there. I post every event that I've been to here. I post all the events, photos here. So if you want to know what's happened in the past year, there's so much stuff that's happened. There's hundreds of photos there. Check them out. They're all on Discord. And at the end, if you guys don't mind, meet up in the back so we can get a group photo just like that. That was really cool. All right. Rule number 1. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, I want to go over Hacker Dojo meetup. If you guys didn't notice, there's a board back there with a Hacker Dojo meetup and all the events that's going on. But I'm going to show you, especially for you guys on YouTube watching, just in case you guys didn't hit up meetup.com. All right, this is currently Lightning Talks we're doing now. We have dark mode coming on right after. And free computer tech support. If you guys have some issues with your computers, show up on Sunday at 6 p.m. and have your computer repaired. Yeah. Build a Bot, which is really cool. I forgot to put Robot Robert on the list of nicknames. Robot Robert hosts Build a Bot, which is your AI robot that you get to build. We got families, we got children, adults of all ages in multiple groups back in the classroom on Monday. So if you guys are interested in building your guys' own AI robot, being part of a team, that's really cool. Check that out. Python Meetup, which is another big meetup. I think it's kind of like a hybrid. They're doing some of it online on Discord. So if you guys can't make it in person, you guys can attend in Discord. So definitely get plugged in. There's a couple QR codes around the dojo with the Discord link. So join that and learn some Python. Again, free computer tech. This one's on Thursday. And Code for San Jose presents Hybrid Civic Action Night. I don't know what that is, but check that out. Implementing innovative ideas and Hackers Block Party. That is next Saturday. That's going to be a big event. It's going to be packed. It's probably going to be, I don't know, what are we expecting, Tiana? Oh, I think she's outside on the barbecue. Yeah, she's on the barbecue. Expect a couple hundred people here. Like right now, what do we have, like 50? Expect like quadruple this. You know, it's going to be packed. Normally, when we have events like this, like the block party, it's gonna be so full in here that the people outside can't come in here because it's so many people. So there's a big group outside, a big group inside. So check that out. Come through, all right? Come through. All right. I want to show you guys before we get started because we got plenty of time, and I know we got plenty of time because we only have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speakers today. So I'm going to take up some of that time here. I want to show you guys the Hacker Dojo Discord and some of the photos that I've taken along the journey of being a volunteer at Hacker Dojo. Check this out. Let's slide this up here. This was at Hack Comedy last Saturday. Once a month, every month, Hack Comedy. These are all comedians that travel across the states, and it's free for members. And if you're a non-member, I think they're charging $20 at the door. But yeah, it was my first time. Even though like I've been here for a few months, I was actually pretty much like close to a year, I would say. I'd never been able to make it in the classroom for Hack Comedy because I've always been busy, like Balaji is just coding away, tinkering with stuff, and I'm like, I gotta make it in there, and I can hear everybody laughing. It's just hilarious, you know. Let's see, what do we have here? This was an AI hackathon that they did last Saturday. Were some of you guys here for the AI hackathon? Turbo was here. There was a couple groups. How was it? How was the ending on day 3? Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it was insane how many people showed up for that. That was really good. That was really good the way they did that. It was a 3-day event. I'm sure you guys were exhausted at the end, right? But yeah, check that out. A lot of photos, more photos. Poker night. We tend to do poker night typically on Friday night. These are the hardcore guys that like to play poker. So if you guys like playing poker, hang out with the guys afterwards and play some cards. All right, how are we looking over here? Good? All right, yeah. Okay, and that is me. Yeah. Keep on going. Some more photos. This was outside. Like I said, there was a lot of people that were hanging out outside that couldn't even come inside because it was so busy last Friday. Yeah, one of the members was I don't know what I don't know. I said, dude, let me take a picture of that. What are you doing, man? He goes, somebody dared me. Like, okay, what do you call this abomination? He goes, it's a burger pizza. It's like, all right, dude. Sounds good. These are our speakers from last week. And there's Balaji. And that should do it. There's hundreds of photos on there. Seriously, you can go back like a full year, 2 years down the road and see all the photos that I have on there. All right, so with that said, let's see if this is working. It does work. Perfect. All right, let's get our first speaker up. Rule number 1, be excellent to each other. Our speakers have 5 minutes to talk about their projects, their ideas. And this event will be live streamed on YouTube. Like I've been mentioning, YouTube, I'm watching you. All right, unedited. So please be respectful. All right, our first speaker of the day, we have Jonathan Shangri-La. Come on up. Oh, you got an applause. Hey, all right. Let's see.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing tonight? Good. Let's try it again. It wasn't that loud. So good evening, everyone. How are we feeling tonight? Good, good. Glad to be here. So my name is Jonathan, and I am the founder of Shangri-La. Oh, I don't know why it's. Let's try that again. Shangri-La LLC. It's encrypted, exactly. So let me take the HDMI out and reattach it. Let's see if that fixes that. I'm the founder of Shangri-La, and my idea, or the idea behind the startup is, have you noticed lately that the music streaming services such as Spotify have taken over the airwaves, whether listening to through cellular network, or through Wi-Fi, that when you drive in your car, when you are at home, you're listening to Spotify and listening to compressed music formats such as MP3 and WAV format. So you aren't getting the full experience of listening to a music format that gives the full experience. What do I mean by that? When it goes to file formats and physical mediums, we have some physical mediums such as vinyls from decades ago that are larger in form factor. However, it's an analog representation of the sound source rather than a digital representation of the sound source. And so when listening to a vinyl, you get the full experience. So I noticed that Spotify in particular keeps track of your listening data, and that data can be downloaded onto your computer by requesting Spotify to download that data. And we're able to sift and parse through that data and find out who your favorite artists are, who your favorite what your favorite tracks are. And so from there, we're able to take that data, and we could even sell it to a third-party store or retail, such as Walmart or Target. And with those platforms, the idea is to take the digital data, your listening data from Spotify, and we could sell that to Target or Walmart. And from those two formats those two stores can mail home directly to your door a physical medium, such as a compact disc, a CD, or a vinyl. And so that's my idea. And if you have any questions, would like to work with me as a developer or marketing, then that would be great. So thank you.
All right. Any questions for Jonathan? Is my microphone on? Test. Hello. Okay. Wow, you can barely hear this. Can you hear that? Can you hear it? Yeah? No? It's really soft, right? Oh no. I don't want to go too loud because then I'll get feedback, right? Hello? All right, any questions?
Yes.
So the generative AI producing a lot of music.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any good market for those type of music?
Generative AI for music. I am familiar with ChatGPT and how if you place a suggestion for music on there, I think what it could do is it could give you recommendations about what similar listens. However, this is not a AI or artificial intelligence project. It's more about taking listening data from each individual client from Spotify and taking and parsing the data, listening data, which is in the format of dictionaries and lists and other formats, and selling and taking that data and then being able to give useful information to a retail store to be able to mail home to you a physical format such as a compact disc or vinyl. Yeah.
Well, yesterday I discovered that there are things like MuseNet and Magenta that allow you to create music.
Mhm.
If I create a music with that, can I sell it through or use it through your system? If I that
You
music created under my request, because I never created that.
Right. So if you create music, there are avenues of getting your self-written, composed music onto a platform such as the one that I mentioned is Spotify, because that's the only. I'm limiting the scope right now before expanding, because we're working on limiting the scope to see what form, how the data can be parsed and formatted and sent, to make useful information from that, so that a physical retail store can actually send home to you something tangible. So it's called DistroKid. DistroKid. If you write your own music, you can upload it to DistroKid, and it will upload it to Spotify, and then you will be a Spotify musician, and then it can go through that whole chain of events to make available. So it has to go through a label first, basically.
All right, Jonathan, we got 2 more questions.
Okay.
Quick question on the quality of the music. You said like the quality will be different if I hear it from the physical devices.
Right.
So would I be like, if I'm not a music enthusiast, or like if I know, can a common man find the difference between the online audio and the physical audio?
Yeah. So I think the best way to determine whether or not it's true that listening to a vinyl has a higher fidelity or higher clarity of the audio source or audio waveform is to do an A/B test. And so I recommend that name your top three musician artists, or top one.
Like Enrique's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I would recommend perhaps purchasing a vinyl and a vinyl player, and then having the compact disc version and or the MP3 on Spotify, and do a listening test. Do it side by side. Listen to the MP3 version first and see if your ears can hear the difference. Listen to the compact disc, and then listen to the vinyl and see if there's a different listening experience, or also a different social experience too. Because if you it can be a listening party with friends and coworkers. That would be a way to see if you can see if different listeners experience different experiences. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Jonathan. Thanks for sharing your idea. I actually wanna. So I think what you guys are talking about is the quality of the music. Right? I think that's the biggest motivation behind this idea. So Apple Music has a lossless audio format.
Yes.
And it has
Is it
had it for
AIF?
a while. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the one. So I think even maybe so I think that's the same quality you get on the physical mediums as well. Is that true, or do you think there's still a difference?
I think there's still it's called lossless. I think WAV format and AIF format are similar, because the difference there is between a Mac device and a Microsoft or Windows device. Both technologies still use a sampling of 44.1 or 48 kilohertz, and so you're sampling multiple times per second, thousands of times per second for each audio source or audio waveform, excuse me. And with vinyl, you're imprinting a continuous waveform onto the PVC, polyvinyl chloride material. So then there's no actual sampling. It's a continuous representation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in Apple it's like 44 kilohertz is their frequency, and in Spotify I believe they're also they've been talking about launching their hi-fi audio solution soon.
Oh, on Spotify?
Spotify, yeah.
Okay.
And so I believe that would probably reduce on the target market, because some
Yeah.
people may be happy with the audio quality that they're getting
Mhm.
if it's lossless on both platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would still do a side-by-side comparison of the multiple formats to see if you have a different listening experience. Many musical purists will swear by vinyl.
Okay.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Okay. And then my second question is, I see on the screen it says like CDs are back. So what is the growth rate in like CD sales year over year, like over the recent, let's say 2 to 4 years? Are they increasing? Are they decreasing? But at a slower rate?
CDs have actually decreased in sales. I don't have the percentage right now.
Right.
It's on one of the slides, and the next time I present this, I'll have a more accurate answer. But yes, CDs have gone down in sales because of the prevalence of streaming services in general. Last one.
All right, last question.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey.
I'm wondering about the economics of what you're doing, and I'm assuming that you're going to have to pay a royalty when you get those things from wherever you get them, right?
Right.
Spotify or whatever. And does that, plus the difficulty of making the actual product you're producing, I guess, which is a vinyl CD, what does that do to the cost?
Oh, the cost. Well, I don't have the exact numbers in mind. However, I know that to purchase a vinyl, it's more pricey than it is to purchase a compact disc. Compact discs run for about $10 to $20 per disc. For a vinyl, however, they run for about $30 to $50 each. And when you think about, the number of sales that goes into each CD, I mean, it really depends on whether the track or the artist has made it to the top 40 or other, platforms that elevate that music. So whether it's selling in thousands or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of sales, we could do a rough calculation, or I could do. It's in the billions of dollars for the music industry that I know, and I don't have the numbers yet. However, I can look that information up or do some estimates.
All right, thank you, Jonathan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, our next speaker we have Balaji, Buzz for Drone. Yeah, Buzz for Drone. Okay.
Hello. Hi, I'm Balaji. I'm a software consultant working for different companies like Intel, Bank of America, last one. So I have spare time to work on some new projects I'm thinking. So this I read about in the newspaper about a company called Joby Aviation in Mercury News. They have acquired approval for air taxi. It is they are situated in San Carlos. So they came up with a 4-passenger drone, which is can carry 1,000 pounds, and it is a vertical takeoff. So they got approval for test flight now, but it is going to be production. I think next year they are targeting. So based on this idea, I have something which enhances some of the other functionality using drones. So other one is I was thinking drone ambulance, which is it looks like Tesla is based on Tesla's model. It is designed. So it's one idea for creating an ambulance, which is more useful than the air taxis, mostly used for the road congestions to mitigate. So in the cities, it may be useful. For other places, like drone ambulance will be for emergency. And other one is recently we have seen the fire happening a lot of places in the Midwest. So why not create a drone which can fight with fires? So it is just water jet sprayer, just with transformer-like look. And other one is drone for assisting seniors. So it's kind of, that's why I call bus for drone. It is a small drone which can help giving tablets or even maybe emergency injection, something like that, to help seniors in trouble. So this is the bus for nurse. So emergency nurse who can maybe bring food or medicine for the senior citizens. So another one is drone diaper. So this is the more cool. Maybe smelly diapers is the more people won't like to dispose. Maybe drones can be help in disposing it. So that one is drone for laser surgery. So so that's more wild. So this one maybe looks like a Terminator movie that which has a needle to probe and the laser light you can see. So it can it has propellers in the two propellers to fly and do the surgery. Probably it is too much maybe. The other one is drone disinfection sprayer. It is already there, I think, but it's a design a new model. Other one is drone poop scooper. So in this, so this one is for the beaches and other places where dogs do all the stuff. So it can clean up too. So other ideas like drone eats, like delivering food, and drone cab we already saw. Drone ambulance is all there, and drone security. So some of the design which generated. So who want to be a co-pilot for this project? Thank you.
Okay, that was awesome. I'm just curious. What was the coolest thing you saw right there? Huh? The drone pooper scooper? That laser surgery got me, man. That's something. Go back to that laser one. Man, look at that thing. What is that? No, look at that. Do you see those? What kind of surgery? What?
It's a laser probe. Yeah, it can.
No, Balaji. I think I'll go with a human.
torture vision.
All right, do we have questions? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Any more questions?
These images.
Yeah, this is Midjourney, you know that. So you give the text, it gets.
Mid-journey. All right, Balaji, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jim White, but I don't see what particular project Jim White's going to talk about. Ah, okay. And he said MP3 for MTV? Okay, that doesn't work. Ruh-roh. That is, what is that? They asked me to use a soundboard. That just sounds. No. It's gotta be a bad cable. There you go. All right, Jim White, if you can just do us a favor, just introduce yourself real quick.
Jim White, can you hear me now?
Unmute it. It's muted. It'll switch on the microphone.
Jim White, I'm a member of the dojo, and I was here for Lightning Talks last week, and wasn't meaning to. In fact, I had specifically decided not to do the hackathon, but Robert Sloan had, I thought, the best pitch because he had a tagline that was very memorable, and in fact, I did a survey. It's the only presenter who had a tagline that anybody remembered. And but by like 10 o'clock, no developers were willing to help him. And he was technical himself, and so it had already done some of the work on it. And the thing that he'd been working on, he wanted to use Whisper so you could take an MP3 and get the lyrics, and then generate images from that, and then generate a video. But the Whisper API has timestamps, but he wasn't able to get the work with the code that he had, and and I was, it's hackathon time, so I said, well, I'm just going to grab some YouTube videos and use the closed captioning, which has a very simple Python library to grab the timed lyrics. So we're not actually doing MP3s. This is give a YouTube URL that has closed captions, and I use those. And so this was the video from last week, and I'm not going to run it again, but it's on our site, and you can you can reach it from the dev post page. But I made no, don't run. Well, no, we're not trying to run you. We wanted to go to the next slide. So the music on that one is actually is actually copyrighted. So I said, well, I should have a video that can actually be circulated. So got it was the Star Spangled Banner. So we have another version of that, and I'm remembering again that we didn't do anything about the audio on playing these things. So hopefully we'll be able to hear this. got spontaneous applause at the hackathon too. People apparently like that song. So yeah, both the the other version and as well as this one. So they're all the images and the descriptions are done just completely done by ChatGPT, and so the prompts you can improve the things on the artwork. So I didn't show because of time-wise, I didn't show the original one, but the images are all different styles. So one of the things, you should pick an artistic style, ChatGPT, because musical director, and use that and consistently cross the images because Stable Diffusion doesn't know that there's a whole song and context. You have to tell it to put all the information in each image description that's relevant to connecting the things. That's why you saw this paint in an impressionistic style. So this is the one it happened to pick, and it'll pick a different one, pretty much every time. And the way that works is there's a prompt, and it's of course longer now. I'm giving more and more instructions, and then just the transcription information, with including the timing. It responds also in a CSV, and then adds a description column for the image descriptions. And so then Stable Diffusion takes those descriptions in, and then I get one image out, and then OpenCV just copy that frame for however many times you need it at the frame rate for however long that piece plays. And you can do it yourself. Just bring your own keys. Stability and OpenAI, they both have free usage parts on it, so you can do some of this stuff. But what I've been working on this week is, so that video was boring. It didn't, the images were static, didn't use any editing, didn't use any animations of any kind. But rather than doing video editing, I went with using, this is a text to video thing. And since I spent an hour and a half trying to solve my problem of not changing the actual images, we didn't get to the parts about scaling the videos and adding into the audio track. Same song, similar image descriptions, but basically the same prompt, just video rather than image. And they're each 3 seconds long because that's as long as the memory I've got on the GPU can synthesize in one go. And so what I was going to do is just kind of loop them for the durations and stuff. Anyhow, that's the update this week. Where we go from here are things like writing songs, generating the lyrics, synthesizing the music, synthesizing the songs, and I mean the vocals. There's all kinds of technology. So I think having started on this, I can't stop until I'm finished, which is a complete generative AI from soup to nuts, write the songs and the images and the music video and the sing it and everything else.
All right,
Thanks.
Jim. MP3 to MTV. Any questions? No questions? All right, Jim.
Oh, there's,
Wait.
there's a hand.
Balaji.
So there is one AI, Runaway AI, which generates text from videos. Recently, they got funding. So they are like Midjourney for videos. I mean, instead of picture, it generates videos from text.
Yeah, there are several.
Yes, this one is more popular. But is that, the OpenCV is better than that, or? OpenCV.
OpenCV is just a thing for mashing images into videos. This text-to-video tool here, there's actually several libraries here that are being used. I just got this sample code. It uses several different models called, there's the one I'm using here is called Potato, but there's also a thing called Zero Shot, but so this is, nice thing about this is you don't have to pay an API to run it. You just need here I'm running a Colab Pro, and so it runs in the GPU on Colab, and POTAT rather. POTAT is the model it's using here. And there's other ones. But get the model off of Hugging Face and run it on a machine with GPU. It's PyTorch code.
Thank you.
So Runaway totally creates a video. Here what is been done is basically Runaway is by all the stability guys only. The startup is, I think those guys only, right? Yeah, and here what the difference is that the image has been generated and the OpenCV is only used to make the image to video.
Yeah, and here I'm not using OpenCV.
By just repeating the frames.
Yeah, OpenCV was for still frames to video.
Frames to video.
This is just generates video segments, and so then it uses FFmpeg to composite those together. That's what you saw here. The next stage is I have to like resize those segments and then also combine the audio.
Exactly.
One more question.
Is there a way to for the script to determine whether it's listening to a masculine or a feminine voice based on the frequency space that it occupies?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be done in speech to text. The standard APIs generally don't do that. You know, like like you'll see in Whisper, and also in some of the more sophisticated ones, including YouTube's transcription. You'll see things like they'll make notations for things. Oh, there's laughter going on. There's music being played, sound of horses, or something like this. You look at that sort of thing. But things like, so that's kind of an interesting area where it's more I think it'd be more about using speaker ID models, and so I think you would probably wind up wanting to use multiple models there. So speech to text is one kind of thing, and then demographic characteristics and like speech tone. Yeah, you'd probably use something more targeted towards speaker ID.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jim. All right, next we have Jorge. Jorge, come on up. Where you at, Jorge?
Yeah, I am here.
Why to do lightning talks? Yes, we need more speakers up here.
What happened? Well, one of the things that we have here in the Hacker Dojo is these lighting talks really is a very enjoyable part of the week. And we can be able to share ideas, to talk with people, to find different ways. And we try to find a better way of how we can be a much more active or proactive in the lighting talks. And I want to invite you, because what is the reason why we want to do this event? Something that we are finding is the broad subjects that we're covering sometimes is very hard for people following in the outside or when they come here. And we want to see in which way we can focus into specific, having a thematic weeks or thematic subjects. It could be a choice. And I don't know, it's something that we are asking you to help us in how we can make it better. Sharing ideas is, for instance, this week we have a visitor that came here and say, I am doing prototyping, and I want to do some kind of events. Where you can promote that event. Lighting Talks is an easy way to have in 5 minutes, share that ideas. And something that we are looking for some voluntary that help us is previously we were cutting all the lighting talks and generating a small 5-minute videos. And we lost that capability because the people that was voluntary for that move away from that activity. And we are seeking for people that help us taking that. one of the persons that was doing this kind of lighting talks, he took his lighting talk, put that in YouTube, and start promoting, and now he's getting business and he's getting more interest for his company. All like the points that was presented today about the voice, or about the conversion and things like that, are great opportunities to create some synergy. And that's the reason we would like to do the lighting talks into a way that is really a trigger to keep going and moving into more activities around the same subject. Right now, as you see, ChatGPT is very popular, but we have some kind of things that, for instance, we have the implementing innovation ideas. That's an event that happens every other Thursday here, and we want to bring more people to have that kind of discussions. We would like to find a way how we, after that events, we provide some kind of lighting talks about the subjects. 2 weeks ago, we were talking in the 3i about how we discover good problems. Then Kevin came with an idea how we find the motion of the problems. And we are seeking continuously about that, and we try to figure out in which way we use lighting talks to do that. An event that we did for a while was the inflection point that Splash managed here. The inflection point was a fantastic way in how we communicate ideas. It's all of us, we have inflection points in our lives. And sharing that inflection points, that was a great time. And we are looking how to do that other things. In that sense, for instance, we have the Super Happy Dev House, and was the origin of the Hacker Dojo. We try to how to foster that. Using technology, YouTube, we can transfer that experience in different locations. For instance, the Hackspedition was 14 of the people in the Super Happy Dev House traveled to Mexico, did a Super Happy Dev House in Mexico, but after that, they enjoyed 3 days of traveling to the Aztec Greens, then went into the rapids in a river, and enjoy making connections. We are now seeking how we use, once again, lighting talks in a way to invite people from different locations. And can you imagine that we can go into a Hackspedition, into Machu Picchu, or into another locations? Why not? That's something that we want to do. Building robots has been a very active activity, and we have much more. We really ask you how you are part of are you ready to be part of this community? And another suggestion that we have been receiving is why we don't record some way in how we make it a good lighting talk. There is very good ones, and sometimes are ones that we need to find a way to improve them. And that is an idea that we're fostering. And invite you to be part of this community, be part of creating that lighting talks more into a branding name, and open that communication channel. I really invite you to keep it that, look about that opportunity. It's a huge way of connecting with people, and that is has been doing a very great job. John has been consistently moving that idea, but we need to focus and do much better than we can do today. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Any questions? Lightning talks? No? All right. Just to elaborate on that, Jorge did mention Super Happy Dev House. Turbo, if you can get set up, please. Jorge did mention Super Happy Dev House. That was an event that happened last Saturday. Hopefully I don't get feedback. Okay, Super Happy Dev House 64 happened last week. That is actually where Hacker Dojo came out of. If you guys don't know, that's the genesis of where Hacker Dojo all began. And Jorge is part of that history as well. Yeah. So if you guys want to know more of how Hacker Dojo became this, it started off with Super Happy Dev House. And now Super Happy Dev House is worldwide. Pretty cool. There's a whole history up behind that. You part of Super Happy Devos?
Yeah, I've been to several of them,
Yeah.
and they're super fun, so you should attend.
All right, so we got Turbo on the platform, ChatGPT API demo.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name's Turbo. Let's see if I can hold the microphone and control the computer at the same time. So imagine you press a button, and then ChatGPT starts writing. But it doesn't just start writing. It keeps writing and writing until it's written everything that a human being needs to know during their lifetime. So this is, that was the goal. That's not exactly what I built. But my team and I built this textbook generator, and I wanted to demo it to you. This is what we worked on over the past weekend at the Generative AI Hackathon. So the first step was to use the ChatGPT API to generate a textbook based on a particular topic. So what we did was we wrote some code that took in a topic, such as fixing cars, and it wrote a little textbook on it. And this textbook is like maybe like 15 or so different API calls to ChatGPT. So first, it asked ChatGPT, what are some subtopics of the topic that the user input? So it came up with understanding the basics, diagnosing common car problems, car maintenance. Then for each of these, and we could have asked it to say like, oh, generates 10 subtopics. Most of the textbooks that we generated have 5 subtopics. This one has 3. And then for each subtopic, it tries to write a little bit about it. So then, beneath each subtopic, we asked it, what are some discussion questions about that subtopic? And what are some test prep questions? And what are some additional resources? And then what we did is we wrote a Python function that asked it, imagine you're a college student and you want to become incredibly wealthy, happy, successful, wise, and smart. Generate a list of a new topic to study to achieve your life goals. These topics should be practical. However, the topic should not be related to things in this list. And then we supplied it a list of all the topics that we already had. This way, ChatGPT would start generating new ideas for new textbooks for us. So then we could have this sort of like agent that would automatically come up with a new idea for a textbook, and then it would call the function that generates a textbook on that idea. And then the function that generates a textbook makes like 25 calls to ChatGPT. And then we save all of the calls to ChatGPT and the response in our database so that we can make this website. So at the beginning of our of the weekend, we were supplying the topics. So we would type in like financial literacy or painting houses. But by the end of the weekend, ChatGPT was coming up with its own ideas for topics, such as sales psychology, sustainable agriculture, fashion design, public health, hospitality management. Yeah, so it was really fun. For a lot of you guys, I think this is going to be really basic stuff, because I know some of you guys in the audience, some of you people in the audience are like experts at ChatGPTs. So maybe this isn't super impressive, but it was super fun. And also, the ChatGPT API is really inexpensive. We were using the 3.5 API because we don't have access to the 4.0 API yet. You have to like join a wait list, so we're on a wait list for it. But we ended up spending only $2 worth of API calls, so you can make like a ton of ChatGPT 3.5 API calls and still only spend $2. And then if you want to read what we wrote, you can go to kevinvery.com/turboschool.html. And this will have the website that lets you see what's already been written in the database over the weekend. And then just now I asked it, because we were watching a demo about music videos and automatically generating a music video. So I asked ChatGPT, write a textbook all about using software to automatically build a music video for a song. And then this is what it came up with. It talks about artificial intelligence and music production and learning algorithms. And so it gives you this nice little textbook. And yeah, I think over the years, this technology is going to get better and better. So that's all my time. Any questions, Jorge?
All right, question, Jorge.
How big was that textbook? How many pages? Or there is a limitation, or there is a
Yeah,
constraint?
so it's all configurable. So we have these constants, and like there's only so much text you can get from a single ChatGPT response, but because we could have a function that asks like 20 ChatGPT questions for each topic, then it can get longer and longer. So we would type in like, okay, for right now we're going to generate 5 subtopics. So, you know, each subtopic is like 2 pages, let's say. But we could change that constant to go from 5 subtopics to 10 subtopics, or we could try to make each subtopic longer by asking ChatGPT more questions.
That's amazing, fantastic. That's is public available. I can access all that information.
Yeah, so if you go to kevinvery.com/turboschool.html is I actually just made this link just now during somebody else's lightning talk. That's why it's not a better link. Yeah, you can go to the website and read the content that we've already generated, but you can't yet generate your own topic. Right now, the code that generates new content is just local to our machines. Yeah, one second. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Do we have time for another question? Okay, you guys don't seem like you have any other questions. That's okay. Thanks for listening.
All right, Turbo, thank you. Our last speaker, we have Svet.
Ooh, I hope it's
Macro and crypto. Huh? Awesome. You have a nice little weekly update of what's been going on with the market. While Svet gets set up here, like Turbo said, he was doing the AI hackathon last week, yeah? And that's one of the projects that came out of that. How many projects came out of that? 14 projects. In 3 days. That's actually amazing. How many? Yeah, there was big teams. All right. Our last speaker, we have Svet.
Okay, hi everyone. Today, again, 2 graphs, what's going on the markets, both on NASDAQ side and on the crypto side. On Friday, we got United States Core Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, which is exclude food and energy, is actually down from rising 0.3% in May from 0.4% in the previous month. It's still rising, and we still have we still have services exceeding the energy and the food in the pricing, but it was thought by the market as a positive thing, and we got the run in a NASDAQ today. Also, another piece of positive news was United States GDP is up. Unexpectedly, it rose 2%, and it was projected 1.3. It's quarter to quarter. It means that we are better than even Federal Reserve expected, which is kind of negative in terms of the future projections for the rate, but still it's a good for the economy. Then durable goods is up. I'm not going to be fixating on that. On the negative side, we almost don't have any information on the negative side, although Dallas Fed manufacturing, again, every regional banks, they are measuring activity, economic activity in their own region. So in the Chicago area, we got still on a very low level manufacturing activity. However, there is a tendency of kind of slowing in that department as well. I mean, slowing in terms of the speed of decline. As a result, we got NASDAQ rising, primarily because of the Friday uptick. However, Bitcoin, as I was projecting on a previous demonstration, is sideways. Mostly because it is above very important resistance lines in the one buying. Also today was a piece of the bad news. SEC rejected the ETF. That's not good for us. However, they still come back. The issue is that BlackRock said, we got an idea, and their bad idea was to measure. So basically, when you have to list any assets on the NASDAQ or any other markets in the United States, you have to be sure that you provide public with verifiable information. But with Bitcoin, all the SEC arguments was about you cannot really verify what's the price of Bitcoin because there is no Bitcoin pricing which is verifiable, which is like a circular argument. BlackRock come out with a new proposition, let's do agreements with some other places where Bitcoin is listed, and then we can check these places and kind of have like multi-source information. But Gary Gensler said, okay, but we don't have a places to check that pricing. So basically, that ETF was rejected today. I also want to say a little bit about current Fed policy. I always argue against it, and not only myself. There are a lot of economists who do the same. One of the reasons is that we got a very good example in the world where central bank got just opposite to what Fed doing. It's a Japanese bank. Japanese Bank of Japan, Central Bank of Japan. What they do, they still keeping their rate below zero. When Federal Reserve start to hike the rate up to the skies, to the cosmos, from 0 to almost 5 to 5.25, Bank of Japan killed its cool. As a result, their inflation, which is here, is lower than the United States. The inflation is now 3.5%, while in the United States we got roughly 4%. That's kind of the very straightforward example why you need to be smart about the policy. Unfortunately, people on top now, I wouldn't call them don't smart, but they are kind of old school. This new Keynesian approach, which doesn't work very well. Anyway, that's a proof of why we are right there or not. Okay, that's it. Any questions? Okay, $5 for the best question. No, I'm not kidding. That's true. Payable in Bitcoin Cash.
There's a question over here.
Oh,
Got some
okay.
questions.
Oh, exchange traded fund, which you don't know what. So basically, there is an index fund, which means that there are a lot of stock. You just calculate the price and you play that number. You do not buy shares. For example, if you buy index, it means that you can sell index and get a profit. You cannot own index. Exchange traded funds means there are a lot of shares, whatever. It can be, for example, Bitcoin, right? And you make a package or the portfolio of those shares. And then as soon as you buy it, you own that portfolio. So basically you got something. That's basically the major difference. Although index and ETF more or less price-wise, they act more or less similarly. Okay.
Yeah, so here you were saying that Japan's, they kept the interest rates low, and you're saying that created higher inflation or lower inflation?
That's kind of difficult question. So it's not like Federal Reserve or any banks make a rate and create inflation. They do not. Current situation is that Bank of Japan refused to abandon stimulating monetary policy, meaning that they keep stimulating their entrepreneur to do entrepreneurship. meaning that there are more and more investment in an economy, which means basically that they was able to kind of compensate for the increase in prices by increased production. Because inflation is only always two-sided. It's a price inflation or demand inflation. For example, what happened in 1930 was a demand inflation, deflation actually, because in 1930 it was this global crisis, because it was too much of the production. Right now we have just opposite type of crisis. We have too much demand as SEC thinks. But it's a kind of complicated economical question whether it comes from this war and increases in oil prices and everything. We can talk about that later if you want. It's just complicated subject.
It definitely is. So if people want to reach out to you and talk to you more about this, how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, so the place to go is evernomics.com, which is ever, like forever, evernomics.com. And the best way to reach myself is a Telegram channel. It's Svet Svitlo. You can find, just add Svet Svitlo, or also in Twitter.
So what's Japan's interest rate right now?
It's a 0.1 minus.
So when do you think that the Fed Reserve will go to that rate?
Oh, okay. According to what, no, it's actually everyone asking that question. This week on Monday, it was Federal Chairman Jerome Powell and Lagarde and a couple of other big cheeses talking in Europe about the future. Well, the projection is that 2024, they expected the rate go about their rate, about 4.1%. 2024, 2025, they projected their own rate at 3.5. So they usually issue this projection for 2 years, not going further. However, whether it will be right or wrong, we cannot say, because Federal Reserve pretty much political institution. They play expectations. Now they try kind of to push speculators, as they call us, down. So they kind of write a lot of the hawkish rhetoric, which might or might not be correct. That's why markets kind of struggle to interpret this. But the Japanese bank was extremely straightforward since the beginning, since basically right from here. You see, they didn't even have this spike in inflation. That's percentages. It's a percentage. It's an inflation spike of the United States inflation. That's a Japanese inflation. So you see, it's working.
All right, so thank you. Do me a favor. Go back to that Bitcoin one, the Bitcoin chart. So when you were saying this, like he did actually present. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, he didn't do last week.
A week ago.
He was like, it's gonna go sideways. I'm like, nah, man. BlackRock's gonna get it. It's gonna. I'm thinking to myself. I didn't say this publicly, but I'm like, it's gonna go up, man. Svet's got it all wrong, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, screw him. But no, he was right. It went sideways, and it's been going sideways. And I'm like, come on, go up. But guess what? So everybody that's watching on YouTube, everybody around the world, BlackRock didn't get approved. So sell your Bitcoin. It's going to be more affordable for me to buy. Thank you. All right, everybody. That's Lightning Talks. We are done. We do have some hot dogs and some nachos. Go ahead and get your grub outside and chit chat. Let's hang out. I guess it's dark mode. Yeah, we're gonna get dark mode going on. For everyone else, if you guys are hanging out at home, come through. We're gonna get dark mode started. Yeah. Today. Oh, poker night. Nice. All right. Yes, I did mention that at the beginning. Hackers Block Party, July 8th, next Saturday. Come on through. It's going to be fun. Lots of peeps. All right. Let's see. What's going on with the soundboard here?